Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we are speaking with the amazing, the incomparable, the delectable Nicki Tedesco. And as usual, we're going to kick off with one of her songs. This is Trapped Inside.
I make up lies to fill the time. The lines inside my mind. Words on in black and white. They don't exist. Fake stories to my delight. Just to fuel my pride. It isn't right, but I fought to fight. I'm trapped Trapped in the bondage of myself. That ego's in my way. Can't write a song awake. I suffocate. I just get in my way. Don't check my waking mind. When I'm asleep, okay. To actually create. I'm trapped
Boom. Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the show. That was Trapped Inside, Nicki Tedesco, who's our special guest today on the show. I hope you're all doing well. This is How to App on iOS, where every day you take a look at apps, creating music, video, whatever it is that sparks your creative juices, and we do it here. And every now and again we have a special guest on the show. Sometimes there's live performances. It's all that and a bag of chips on this show. I hope you're all happy and in a really good place, and if not, hopefully after this you will be, because we're having a chillax kind of day. We're bumming around today. I've got my PJs on down below. I'm not showing you. And we're all PJ'd up here on the show. And all right, let's just get straight into it. Let me get a few things organized here in front of me. So this artist I came across a few years ago, actually. How did I find Nicki Tedesco? I found Nicki Tedesco on a metal, some kind of news thing I saw, and it was one of her songs that it was in some news thing here in Australia. And I found her music, and I grew up in a time and era where Lita Ford was the queen of metal, and all this stuff. And I found Nicki Tedesco and was like, man, I love strong, powerful women in metal. I love of powerful women in metal. And found her music and then was reminded of Nicki Tedesco from watching the Metalhead Hippie show, who has if you don't know who Metalhead Hippie is, he has a channel here on YouTube where he plays your music. And then I had Kim Harden Hudson on the show who reminded me again. And I thought, you know what? I need to get Nicki Tedesco on the show, and she kindly accepted. So without further ado, she is one of the most incredible bass players you will come across. She has an awesome YouTube channel. She's got a sick Twitch channel, which is completely interactive, and her music is fucking awesome. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So without further ado, I'm going to attempt to bring into the chat the one, the only, ladies and gentlemen, Nicki Tedesco.
Hello, darlings.
From within the blanket.
You have PJs, I have Blanky.
Blanky and PJ, the duo. Sounds like a cool metal band. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for that sweet introduction. That was so cool. I didn't even know. I had no idea you heard about me years ago.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Well, you know, we live on this tiny little island here in Australia where we do hear things sometimes. You know, we're slightly behind the rest of the world, but we do hear things, especially metal. So it's awesome to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on. And
I also love powerful metal women.
yes, very powerful. Women in metal, very powerful, very evil. I love it.
And I haven't forgotten. Wait, let me get myself right, because I haven't forgot you're going to teach me how to sing metal.
Yeah,
right?
we're going to do some
That's
growling
metal?
at the end of the show. Yes.
I'm here for the training.
Oh, damn. I'm not even warmed up.
Okay. Yeah. I need some pointers.
You'll be fine.
I'm going to hurt myself.
You just like think of...
What's up, everybody? Hi.
Hello to everybody in the chat. Should we do the hellos now? Normally I do hellos a little... Well, let's just do it now. I have no rules here.
Okay, all right.
Paying to get Metalhead Hippie, who's probably out and about shopping. We need some shopping music for Hippie. Boom. Peter, Bear, Triple N, Jen. I feel like I need a sound effect for that.
Wait, I think I have one. Oh, I have one.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry, Jen.
All I've got's this fart thing. What the hell?
That was a long.
That was a painful one. Damn, I'm glad that wasn't mine. SM Borthwick is here as well. Bear, Kim Harden Hudson, Sith Vasquez. Who else? As I scroll through and try and catch as many as possible. Preston Smith, Thomas Christ. Hello to you. Gregory O'Sullivan, Mary Moore, John David Lee's paying to get. Hello. Gary Hubbs is here also. There's so many of you. Thank you all for being here as I scroll crazily with my bad eyesight trying to see what's happening. You know what? Russ is here as well. Livula 11 is here as well. I will catch up with you.
Livula's the one that gave me this blankie last year. She's one of my wonderful subs, part of the family, part of the live stream base team, and she gifted me this blankie last year for Christmas.
Thank you for the blankie.
Thank you.
This is going to be a car crash today. I love it. All right. Hey, thank you. I have an idea for the super chat also. Thank you. We hadn't even started the show and you're super chatting. What the hell? Thank you.
Can I send a super chat? Let me try.
Hang on. That's way Inception. That's so Inception. I'll keep calling people. Dennis Stick Lindsay. Hello to Ratbones. Who else do I have here? Did I say Black Covers? Welton Kinder, Dragon Lady Music Experience, Joe Glenn. Hello. I'm doing my best. If I'm missing you, just call me a dick in the chat. Brad Example. Hello to Brad. Ed B Metal. We've got the whole gang. This Nicki Tedesco sent a super chat.
I did it.
You watch what's going to appear in a second. It's probably got a delay. Hello, Auntie G. Look. I've got metal. Alrighty, let's jump in. We'll catch up with everybody soon as well. Thank you for the super chat, Nikki. That's so weird. That's so Inception. All right, I'm going to hit you up with the first question I ask everybody. Nicki Tedesco, what does music mean to you?
Oh, shit. I thought you were going to give me like an easy question.
In for a penny.
Well, you know what? Actually, hey, Metalhead Hippie, boom,
Boom.
rock on, ladies.
Thank you.
Boom to the boom.
Thank you, Metalhead Hippie.
Wow. Okay, so what music means to me is, I mean, I know you guys, it sounds like a cheesy question, so I hope the answer doesn't start sounding cheesy, but I feel like when I was kind of thinking back, you know, about, you know, my childhood, and I thought, nothing real. I just feel like I was sort of like, okay, I'm alive. This is how my childhood was. I'm alive. Okay, breakfast, right? Oh, cake sometimes, right? You know, toys sometimes, sister, friends. Like, it was just like here. But then when I finally found the music that I really loved, I was like, like, I feel like I was born. I was born only once I found the joy that music brought. Like, just even like to a physical sense, how it just vibrates your body. And I feel like it just like, it vibrated my body and my mind all in the right way, that I finally felt like, oh my God, this is life. Like, now I'm alive. You know what I mean? I was just sort of alive before that, but now I was thriving. You know what I mean?
So essentially you're born again.
Yeah.
But a more constructive,
Yeah.
productive born again, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Born of fire.
Yeah. It gives me life.
Yeah.
I mean, we are vibrations anyway. I mean, the whole universe is a vibration. That's how matter's even created. So, I mean, on a molecular level, music is just sort of us playing around, having fun, and being like, yeah. I mean, I don't even know how to explain. I mean, I'm trying. I'm hoping like some piece of it will make sense to each person. But yeah, I don't even think I was alive till I heard music. I was just sort of hanging around the world.
Yeah, I say it, and it sounds like a cheap thing these days, because you do hear a lot of people say it. Without music, I wouldn't even be here. I just wouldn't. There were too many times in my life where shit was bad, and music just pulled me through. It's such an amazing language, you know. It's
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter the style either, although metal is best. But that is just the rule. Fight me in the chat. Fight me.
Oh, good. Oh, wait, I can monitor you here. I was like, how can I look at you? Okay, there we go. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
you've got that other view there. Yeah, so you can see what's going on.
Yeah, metal is best, especially when you're angry. I feel like it doesn't always. I don't know if music always makes me feel better, but if I'm really pissed off and I put on some good metal, then I'm like, at least it's agreeing with me.
Yeah.
My anger. You know what I'm saying?
And it can be, you know, metal's interesting. I find metal incredibly empowering at times. I remember a time I broke up with a girl, and I listened to Nothing Else Matters on repeat for 2 days.
What was on repeat?
Nothing Else Matters by Metallica.
Oh.
And I cried a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
Yeah.
because of how much Metallica had changed, or because of the song. I still haven't worked it out, but it helped.
A little of both.
You know?
At least it distracted you from, you know, the issue at hand.
Yeah. She was a distant memory because I killed her. But anyway, no. So I'll ask you, do you recall the music that was played when you were a child in your household? And what were some of those artists that was played in the household? And have they had an impact on your music?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, when I hear people tell stories about like Boomer, I don't think he's here right now, but when he tells stories about what his parents were listening to, I just think, hey, Rap Ones, thanks for the super chat. Dio never lies. I I'm like, oh God, they grew up with jazz. They grew up with this old blues. Like I grew up with like what was on the radio. So really popular stuff. So, and it did inform my ear at this point. So growing up, it did, have an effect on me. Like, for example, my mom loved Elvis.
Love me tender.
So I was completely on the idea of like, the popular pop star, like the pop star, the concept of a pop star and pop music. And even though that's not really pop music, but it was, at a certain time. And so she loved Elvis. She would listen to him she listened to him till the day she died. So she was always listening to him. And then my sisters loved classic rock, right? So they were like listening to Kiss and Styx. And there was a little Journey in there, but not a lot.
Just a smidge.
Thank God. Just a little. And just like Styx. One of my sisters was obsessed with Styx. And we go see Styx whenever they come out. So we have that bond with that. And so there was a lot of classic rock. And I really liked it. I liked it as much as I could, because I thought that's all there was, because I didn't really have a choice. Like I was so young. I'm so much younger than my sisters. And I just thought I didn't have a choice. Like I didn't know what. I heard David Bowie on the radio once though, and I was like, no, this shit's good. Yeah. I heard like Fame. I think that was what I heard, and I was like, yeah. But then when I got old enough to actually start like listening to music as a choice, then I was getting into like punk and I guess what you could call goth at the time, and just like I was loving Nina Hagen and Lords of the New Church, and I was in love with like these like less popular bands that were just like kind of nasty, dirty sounding. I loved that shit.
Dirty.
I loved it. So, but it did. But what I grew up with, I think it just gave me I think the way that it influenced me was not so much that I still love that stuff or my music sounds like it, but I definitely have an ear for like radio music. Not that I write music that's for the radio. That's not what I mean. I mean, like I can handle pop. Like, I mean, I like Katy Perry. You know what I'm saying? I've got an ear for, I can handle candy pop, like lollipop pop. I'm down with it,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to sing along. I want a chorus. You know what I mean?
I went and saw Katy Perry live. I had to do an interview. I had to do a review for a LGBT magazine I used to write for. And oh my God, she came out with a giant inflatable lipstick on stage. And it was at that moment I was like, what am I doing with my life? but
why don't I have a giant inflatable lipstick? Things are all wrong.
I went home, I looked under my bed, there wasn't one there. It was
and you've been searching ever since.
Yeah. But
I freaking love Katy Perry. I mean, I don't know her, so I don't. It's not like I like agree with all the things she does. I don't know her at all. Just her music it's so eatable. It's like a cupcake,
Yeah.
It's not for you. It's not going to last. It's not going to put muscle on your body. It's not going to do anything great for you, but you're just going to enjoy it for the moment.
It just dissolves it like a staple in your stomach. It's great. It's just...
Yeah. I might regret it tomorrow, but...
I might regret it tomorrow. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I woke up in the morning. Katy Perry's music was under my arm. I had to chew my own arm off not to wake it up.
Oh, God. What did I do?
We're descending. I love it. Hey, all right. Speaking of, I'm going to veer off because I always do on this show. I was in a conversation with a friend last night. We were talking about formulaic music and how some songs continue to be, they capture people's imagination and because they do stick to a formula, right?
What did you call it? Formulated music?
Formulaic. I don't even know. Is it a word?
Formulaic?
Formulaic?
That's a place up north. I don't know.
But there are
that word
like popular music does stick to a formula. It's like we were talking about how in a verse you pull out certain instruments to let the vocal breathe and go to a place and carry you to the chorus.
Exactly.
So, pop music does carry that through. So pop music does have an important part, even in metal, because some of the best pop music teaches you about taking things out of songs, because a lot of artists these days clutter music. So I like pop music. Katy Perry's okay.
Don't you talk about I'm kidding, I'm joking.
I'll jump onto the other question I have written down.
It's not like I'm like, oh my God, Katy Perry, yeah! I'm just.
Well, I didn't touch on, you mentioned
about.
Kiss, and, out of all the interviews I'm doing here, what is this, like 56 interview or something? Out of that, 3/4 of people I've had on this show have mentioned Kiss as an early influence growing up. It's amazing how much power Gene Simmons has.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? I don't even remembering their music. All I remember is they were on TV and they looked wild and everyone wanted to be them every Halloween. Like that. So their visual is really what I think impacted their footprint on the world. It's like, I know there's like Video Killed the Radio Star, but they're really the ones that were like, we not only have a sound and songs, we have an image and it's a whole thing, and you're buying into a whole concept. And I feel like maybe, I don't know if they were the first ones that did it, but they're the first ones that stand out to me for doing it. Besides Elvis's and his cape, his like robe.
His cape.
There's that too. I loved it.
I want to start a band called Elvis's Cape.
See, I've already got 2 band names for you.
No, I don't need any more bands. I've already got 7. I don't need any more.
I know there's too many project names and just not enough like actual material.
Absolutely. I guess Alice Cooper was kind of doing it as well. That kind of theatrical thing.
Right.
He was doing that too. So here you are with. Do you remember the first album that you were given as a gift, and the first album that you purchased, and what format was it on?
Oh my God!
This is how I ask you how old you are.
I know. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to answer that. I mean, it was a CD. Kidding. It was totally a CD, and I got it online on Amazon. No, I'm kidding.
Didn't we all?
All right. Okay. So the first one I got. Okay, you guys. Shit. I feel like I shouldn't answer this. No, fuck it. The cat's out of the bag. Oh, how much can I swear?
You can swear
here?
how much you fucking want.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So the first one was "Miss You" by Rolling Stones. That was a gift, but I asked for it. "Miss You" by Rolling Stones. 45. And then the first one Why are you laughing?
Because...
You know what's coming next.
No.
So,
I'm just a jocular person.
okay. Okay, so the next one was I saved up my money from pulling weeds in the backyard for this next one. Okay.
Nice.
The Grease album.
Yes. Yes. I love Grease so much.
Me too.
So do you like Grease 2? That's going to be my next question.
I don't even know what that is.
You've never seen Grease 2?
I refuse to accept that it even happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Did they redo the same story, or did they continue on with the story? They're like, and they got old and had kids, or like what was?
No, it's Olivia Newton-John's. Is it a cousin? Yeah, her cousin goes to the school. Yeah, and he's like he's from England, and he's a smart person, and he falls in love with the tough chick who's dating the dudes in the T-Birds.
Oh, so it's like the opposite?
Yeah, opposite. It's
Oh, that's cool. But I thought she was from Australia.
Yeah, well, Americans don't really understand the difference between, Hey, if it didn't happen in America, it didn't happen at all. You know how it goes.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't know.
Whatever, just...
No, I've never seen it.
Well, it's cool.
Wait, why did Metalhead Hippie says I just lost 22.6 street cred points? No, you played Grease the other night, and you know that it cheered up your entire freaking crew.
Listen to Hippie. He's
So don't put down the power of Grease.
listen to Hippie getting all hard on us. We all know you've got a heart as soft as marshmallow, Hippie. Settle down. Relax. Boom. What's going on? I want to take a moment too. I saw a super chat from Welton Kinder as well too that I missed before. So
Welton
thank you,
Kinder.
Welton Kinder, and you called out Ratbone. So thank you for that. Thank you for doing my job,
Yeah.
Nikki.
No problem. I'm all
So, all right, let's move forward. We'll ask this one, and then we'll move on and play another song. Did you have music lessons when you were a kid? Like, what was it? What was the first instrument that you picked up as a kid? What motivated you to pick up an instrument? What was it? Something.
Well, first I thought I wanted to be a comedian, but I had a small audience of my family members. They didn't think I was funny. So
We're all like that.
so then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do like I'm gonna do musicals. I did like musicals in the living room. I'd write a whole musical. They didn't like that either. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe you guys are the problem. I feel like you guys are the Anyway, so then later I picked up the tambourine. That was my first instrument. I learned all the Monkees songs. So that was my jam.
Awesome.
I love the tambourine. Yeah. And I was like, I can do this. I learned every song on one of the albums and I was like, I nailed it, you know? But I had that satisfaction of like learning a song, then playing it from the beginning to the end without having to know anything. All you have to do is listen and it's a beat and shake a thing. You know, it's pretty easy. So I didn't need any training for that.
There are tambourines.
No offense to anyone that has training.
There are tambourine.
What
there are
was that?
tambourine musicians all over the world going, "Fuck you, Nicki Tedesco."
No,
I
I know,
spent
right? No,
years on that.
I'm not putting down that the tambourinists probably have studied for years, you know, with a mentor.
Yeah,
But,
music college.
Then I picked up a flute. It was my boyfriend's flute. No, don't even start. Don't start with the jokes.
I'm not
So I learned. I wasn't pointing to you. I was pointing at the chat.
hippie.
So, I learned the flute. I just taught myself, but then I was like, I want to be in a band because I really wanted to perform because I feel like performing was like really what I wanted to do, and so I joined a band. Like I played the flute, but I was really into speed metal at the time, so I joined a speed metal band on the flute, and that was rad. I feel like we were so unique, you know. It was. We were really unique because you know how like okay in like old school speed metal, the song's like dun 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 dun, and then you get to the guitar solo and it goes halftime and it goes dun 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 like that, like it's all halftime, and then you come in and you do the flute solo and you're like with all the reverb and all the like echo and delay, right? And then the guitar like doubles you, so you're doing this like Iron Maiden / flute solo, and then it goes back into the hardcore stuff. Yeah, that's my jam. Flute. No, I'm kidding. So then,
I was gonna say, you were way before Jethro Tull.
So I really enjoyed performing and stuff, but I was like, this flute thing just ain't cutting it, you know? And somehow, I mean, it's a long side story that doesn't matter, but I ended up with a bass in my hand. and I just plugged it in and I hit an E and I was like, flute, you're dead to me. I was like, I'm never playing the flute again. I was like, I have found my instrument. Like, I just felt the E and it was like, it was doing that like vibrating thing I'm telling you about when I first heard music and was like, oh, I'm alive, you know, the born again moment. And then I hit the E and I was like, born again. So I was like, double born again. But I was just like, this is my thing. Bass, this is it. This is bass. Yeah. So I'm like, I am a bass player. I mean, I'm not like a guitar player that turned to bass, even though I do play guitar also. But once I hit the bass, there was no turning back. That was it. And that was that. But lessons, no, I never had lessons till I had played for many years. And then finally I was like, I should take a lesson and see what I'm doing wrong. And then I took a few lessons and from this like super metal guy. and he was doing all this stuff, and I was like, I don't know, not for me.
All this stuff.
He was,
What are you? He's a guitarist.
I don't know. It wasn't anything that I thought was going to be helpful. Like I thought they were going to like open the world of music to me, and then I realized, oh, there's this thing called theory, and all right, I've just really approached music always as assimilation. Like I was just going to do immersion and assimilation, and that's pretty much how I've learned everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adam Burst, for the kind super chat as well. I was going to say, you were like, so what were you doing wrong? And then you started taking lessons and realized this is what I'm doing wrong, taking lessons. That's what I was like when I you know how I learned playing guitar? I used to run around the backyard with my guitar unplugged, pretending I was in Anthrax, jumping around.
Perfect.
And it worked out okay. It was all right.
Well, because I mean, have you ever seen classical? I mean, of course, you've seen classical musicians, and then you take the sheet paper. They're all on the violin, let's say, and take the sheet music. You put the sheet music back. Take the sheet music. So like, you were like, okay, I'm gonna practice. Actually performing, and then something's up with my camera.
Come back, focus. Oh, hey,
camera's like mad at me, likes violinists. Okay, but yeah. So you were practicing performing before you were learned how to play it. I just feel like performance is so important. It's not just like an afterthought. So good for you.
Absolutely. Well, I couldn't play, and I had this friend who was like into Poison and stuff, and he was like, he had a guitar, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, metal, and I was already into Metallica by then, and he was trying to say metal. I'm like, Poison, man, I don't know.
I'm so happy the way that you said Poison.
I'll tell you a funny story about Poison. When I was young, because I'm being trans, right? I was always trans, right? I always got caught as a kid dressing up as a girl by my dad, and he used to always slap me around and go, "You can't do this. It's wrong." And then I got into metal, and he was like, for Christmas, he goes, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, I want a metal album. He goes, "Oh, I'll go get you a metal album." And the first album he bought me for Christmas was Poison's "Look What the Cat Dragged In." And I opened it up and went, this is the guy who's been slapping me around for putting on makeup as a kid. And he hands me this as a Christmas present.
Those guys are hotter than all the women that were around at that point. I mean, they were like, really had their makeup game on.
Yeah, they'd been to Mac, definitely.
Did you show your dad? Were you like, Dad, look?
I look better than them.
What did he say?
Maybe he thought they were women. I don't know. But whatever.
Oh my God.
All right, let's play a song. We'll take a break for a second. I'm going to play a video clip. I'm going to play Sick as Freak. Yeah?
Play Poison.
No, I'm not going to do that. Every rose has its thorn. Just like every cowboy. Oh my God. Please don't tell anybody I know that song. All right. So we'll be back in a second, guys. So kick back, grab yourself a beverage. We're going to play a video clip. If I can load it up here and stop it in time. Technical stuff here. Man, what is going on with my internet? Oh, there we go. We're good. Maybe? Let me just check and make sure my iPad... this is what's going on. My iPad's decided to change networks. So 1 second. There we go. We're back. Exactly. All right. All right, folks, keep back, grab a drink. This is Nicki Tedesco, Sick as Freak. Boom! Welcome back. Hope you're all. Oh, what am I doing? Got to get my shit together. I'm just waiting for Nicki to get back into her place. And let me get her sound back. There we are. And she's back. Tell us a little bit about that song. How did that all come about the video clip and all that kind of jazz? It's a great clip.
Oh my God! You know what's so cool about that song is this, and I hope this inspires people. So I was watching this girl on Facebook, and she was like putting out records and putting out songs, and I started whining. I was like, I want to put out songs. Why can't I put out songs? I want to write songs. I was like whining to my boyfriend at the time, who's also a producer. So this is a really cool story. So he goes, well, why don't you just write a song? And I was like, he goes, just sit down and just like write a song. And I was like, is that how that works? I had no idea. I had written a few songs before, and they just, I don't know, like I didn't have like a method, like I just thought, oh, they happen, or you get inspired or whatever. But he was like, just sit down and just write a riff, And hey, thanks Autism Rocks for the super chat.
Danny and Micah.
And so I did. I sat down and just started jamming, because it's a very bass riff oriented song. And so I just started doing this like jam, and so he was helping me because he's such a good songwriter. Oh my God, incredible. And so he's like, okay, now like change chords, and then so he was kind of like directing me. And I'm not embarrassed to say this, that I totally had help. He's 50% songwriter on that song. And so, but I mean, I wrote all the bass line and all the lyrics, and so, but he was like, okay, now let's see, we need a change, and then so we figured out the change, and then and he's playing all the guitar in that song. And so anyway, once I got that one song done, and this is what I always tell people, like, just write that one song. Like, you don't know, it might be terrible, and even with YouTube, because people always say, how do I start a YouTube channel? It's like, just do the first video, because it's going to probably suck, but then you're going to learn what sucked about it, and then you're going to make a better one next time. But if you don't make that first one, you're never going to know, and you're just going to be in this eternal like frozen mode. And so once I wrote that song, I was like, oh, okay, well, I have this other idea for this other song, and it just like gave me strength, I guess, like and belief in myself, like, hey, if I wrote that one, I know I can do another one, And then I did a whole album, and then I put it out, and I was like, oh, if I did this album, now I can do another album. And now I'm on my third album and an EP, and now working on a new album. So it just really, that one song is what just started me on just write the damn song. Like, stop looking at other people and be like, I wish I could do that. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then you said about the video. How did the video come about?
Yeah.
So I decided I wanted to do a video, and I have this friend, Vicente Cordero, and he's done a lot of really big bands videos at this point. His roster is incredible, all the people that he's done. I don't even know. He'd probably charge a lot more now. But at that point, we were friends, and I did pay him. I paid him a lot. And but I was like, I'm going to invest because I think this song is good. And so I had this whole idea, and what it takes to put together a video, you guys, is insane. It's way more than writing the song, way more. Even though it happens faster. But it's like all the people that you have to get involved in, all the equipment and all the planning, and like just planning the scenes is, I mean, now I think I have a better handle of it now because I do live streaming. I'm like going from scene to scene, and I understand that concept. But to write a story that, starts here and ends up here and then has all these scenes, the complicated part to me is going, okay, in the morning we're going to film here, but then we have to film all these 5 scenes because they're in this place. Anyway, it's complicated, you guys. It's a lot of work. So I had the storyline and everything, and I don't know if it translated fully or if people even know what the video's about. But it is a direct link to what the song's about. So I'm just curious if anybody even knows what that video is about without me telling them. Hold on, I need my blankie.
Well, it's interesting though because you write songs, you put together things, and you know what it is, and you put it out there, and people don't always get the same message from your music. Like I know I've put out songs that I tend to at least I know I write songs that are so it's hard to mistake. But there are a lot of songs out there that for years I've taken the message of it as something completely different, and then you see an interview with an artist and they're like, "Oh no, it's about this time," and it's like, what? God, that song helped me get through this tragic thing, and it's not even about that. Like, what the hell? So it.
And then, are you sad? Are you sad because it wasn't about what you thought it was?
No.
Because I'm torn between maybe I shouldn't tell people what it's about. Let them think what it's about, whatever they need it to be about at that time, you know?
Thankfully, I'm not like that. But we do live in an age where there are people who live on Twitter who it might affect, and then they'd sit there for days crying their eyes out and attacking you over it. So we live in a butthurt society these days. So
Oh my God.
this song that I ambiguously took as something else wasn't that, and now I'm angry at you. Well, it does look like it.
Oh my
It
God.
looks like a really pro clip. I mean, that's the reason I asked about it. I shot a clip last year during Songtember and filmed the whole process here on the channel, and storyboarding on my iPad, and then going down in my garage with a green screen. And it took like a full weekend of shooting and then putting it all together. It was incredibly hard work. But when you look back at it, it's such a beautiful thing to go back and watch. It's incredibly worth it. And that clip looks like one of those clips, incredibly worth the effort that was put into it.
It is. Oh my God. We had to carry his gear for the first scene because I was like, oh, I want to do it on top of this mountain, this Chumash mountain, right? It's one of my favorite hikes. I'm like, we're going to go up there, and I wanted to go like to almost the top of the mountain where there's this view. It's like a view of both sides. It's incredible. But we got up to like the first little bit of the hill, and we had struggled, and we were sweating, and I'm like all made up to like be in a video, and I'm like sweating and dying. And I look at him and I was like, it's up there. That's where we're going. and I looked at him and I go, should we just do it here? And he's all, yes, let's just do it here. So, and it's fine. Like, it didn't even make much of a difference as to what my vision was. It ended up kind of being the same thing. But yes, and then my second video for Suicide Note is also super professional. It's done by the same guy. And then he built a coffin for the video. I mean, this guy, because I was like, I'm going to die in the video, okay, and then come back to life. So is that cool? How are we going to do that? And so he's like, oh, I'm just going to build a coffin. Great. He built a coffin. And but then now the next video, Trapped Inside, the first one we saw, I did that, okay? I filmed that myself. And you can tell, just like you were saying, like you put in the money and you put in the time, you're going to get a Sweet as Freak video.
Yep.
You decide to do everything yourself and not spend any money, you're going to get a Trapped Inside video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Those are the differences. And I watch it and I'm like, it's okay. Like it has the story that I want, but it could be so much better, you know?
I'm going to say hello to a couple of other people I saw. The Falcro, hello. And I see Hetriani's here as well, too. He probably heard your story about the tambourine and wanted to get in on the action with his triangle. So hello, Hetriani. Dennis Stick Lindsay, hello. I saw Sai. Effing good to see you. All right, so I want to ask you about your first band. What was your first band that you joined?
My first band was called Psychotic Cabaret. Mm-hmm. And it was it was like an electronic. I was playing a fretless bass then, and so it was fretless bass with like two keyboards, a guitar, and a real drummer. So it was like an electronic rock band, but we did pop, and we were kind of like a performance art type of band. So we had songs. We had really cool songs. What was the one song that we had called Homo Trendoid, right? Because we were like, it was like we were making fun of humans that were just like trendy consumer machines. So it was like instead of Homo sapien, it was like Homo Trendoid. Anyway,
I love it.
Yeah, and then we had like a song about mice, and we would like throw cheese at the
Oh,
audience.
wow.
So
Oh,
it was
wow. Very
interactive.
performance art. I like it. Okay.
Yeah. That was that.
That was
That was
that.
great. It was
So,
great. I mean, it was pretty good. The music was pretty good. But let me tell you a funny story though. I saw a picture of me in the studio when we did that. And that was my first taste of being in a studio and kind of producing a little bit, because there was this part of the song I go, no, no, wait, wait, wait. You guys, we have to cut out all the music right here because there's this one thing that the singer's saying, and we have to really make that pop out, you know? And it was a song, I think it was about some political figure, and he's all read my whips because it was a song about like S&M or whatever. And but I was so excited because no one heard it, and then I was like, you guys gotta mute it right there, you gotta mute that. And I was sitting, but here's why this is important, because I was sitting there thinking of what they should do, and then I was like, I shouldn't say anything, I'm not the producer, like I'm not in whatever, I'm just the bass player. And I was like, screw that. And so then I told them what I thought should happen, and then they did it, and then it turned out being awesome. So it just taught me to like not be quiet about my opinions of stuff in the studio, because you can only try it, and if it sucks, then change it. But so, and also I saw a picture of myself in the studio that day, and I was like, what was up with my fashion? Because I had like socks and sandals, socks and flip-flops or something. And then I had on like this shirt that I don't know. I know I got it from the thrift store. I thought it had like a Jimi Hendrix vibe, but no, it was nasty. And I just look at that picture like, please don't let this get out. What was I doing? I could have been so cool, but you know, I didn't learn how to be cool till I didn't care about
Yeah.
being cool anymore. Now I'm just
that
like,
is the
I don't
secret to
care.
cool.
But I was never.
Were you one of those people
Never.
who looked at other people when you were young and went, "Ah, how do they do that? How are they so cool? And why am I such a, we call it a dag here in Australia, which is the terminology for something that hangs
No,
off a sheep's
well,
bum.
Oh my god. No, I just looked at them and I said, "Oh, they have
yeah,
money
yeah,
for
yeah.
close."
I was going to say, Rat Bones has just written here, everyone frantically searching for that picture now. I was going to say it, but let someone else do it.
I'll see if I can find it. I don't mind if it comes out. It's hilarious.
So
It's
you,
so
you
stupid.
just touched on, and I like to pull threads on this in these interviews. So you mentioned about like being just the bass player sitting in a studio. What's your experience being in a metal? Because I want to talk about metal now. I want to talk about like, hey, you got into metal and stuff. Being a female.
And you're gonna teach me, right? You're gonna teach
Well,
me how
we'll
to
do
do
some
that
growls.
vocal thing.
That's all,
That's what
that's all you're here
I'm
for.
not gonna let that go.
Stay.
I want to embarrass myself in front of all
Yeah,
my friends here and learn how
I
to do
promise
something
we're
I
gonna
have no
we're
idea
gonna
how to do.
So how's it been being a woman in a very male dominated music industry, and like being in a studio? How have you found your voice to rise above all of the grunting and groaning and testosterone and the smelly t-shirts?
Well, first of all, it sucks, and it has not
Yeah.
gotten better. I'm just going to be honest at all. And even though, like, on the surface, people are like, it's better, we're being more inclusive, you know, oh, here's a
Yep.
girl. Check out, we're going to post a girl now and pretend like we've been inclusive all this time. But no, it sucked. But so the bands I was in weren't like that. Like I wouldn't join a band like that. So I was always in like punk bands, and I don't want to say punk not as a genre of music, but punk as like we were doing weird stuff that nobody else was doing, that was not popular. So if like, let's say Cinderella was popular and you're listening to Metallica, I was listening to Metallica too, and listening to Black Sabbath, right? And even though that's not punk, but what I'm saying is the people that wanted to do the kind of music I wanted to do. Like they weren't really like that, you know. So I just tried to surround myself with people that weren't like that. I mean, I'm so turned off by that I this is why I think also I don't, even though I grew up in LA, I was never doing a lot of schmoozing and never like meeting all the people you're supposed to meet, because I was so disgusted by the whole scene, because they were just, you know, I'd come to a gig and they'd be like, "Oh, are you the singer?" And I'm like, you know, and then like like everyone was like that. Just are you the singer? Oh, you're the girlfriend of the bass player and you're carrying his bass for him? Yeah, totally. Yep. And so I was just so like disgusted by the people and the scene that I would just do everything I could to not be, just have to be immersed in it. And I think it did end up working against me, because I probably should have schmoozed a lot more and could have, you know, but whatever. But there was one thing that I had to do when I was trying to meet people to be in bands. I had to put out ads, and I know some of the people here know this this story, but I put out ads, and I would say my name was Nick, because they wouldn't call me if they knew that I was a girl. So I said my name is Nick, and then they would answer, or I knew that they were calling, because I don't know how I knew it was them calling, but I would just have my bass ready. I think I had my bass ready all the time. It was just always sitting there plugged in, and then I would answer the phone and they would say, "Yeah, I'm calling for Nick," and I would say, "Okay, well, hold on. I'm Nick. I'm actually Nikki, but don't hang up. Listen, I can really play." And then I would like play, and I would just have to. That was the vibe. Like I would have to prove myself before they could ever take me seriously, or before they would ever take me seriously. And it was just, it's been a struggle, and it's like this much better now, because it's trendy to, you know, to include women. And this is why I've always hated all female bands, even though I feel like I understand why they did that. They did that because nobody else would want to play with them. I mean, that's why they form all girl band. But I hated all girl bands, because I was like, it's so, if every all girl band I had heard was super bubblegummy, except for like the Runaways, but I was like, what? Why be all girls? That's just as weird as not letting a girl in a man's band. Like everything was weird to me. I was irritated
before my transition. So I've always been a singer in bands, and we had this band. Hippies played the band on my old band on the show. He's played quite a bit of it, called Despised, and our bass player sucked. He was just shit. And we were a very much like Mr. Bungle, Primus, all over the place kind of music. And when you've got like a really shit bass player who is unable to do that stuff, it's really a strain on the band. And I saw this female bass player one night and was like, man, she is fucking one of the best bass players I've ever seen. And I got her in the band, and we made a pact, as all boys at the time for me, that nobody was allowed to fuck her, because it would ruin the band. And I swear to God, it only took 1 week for the guitarist to fuck her. And I was just like, dude, you're so insecure that you had to fuck her. And then when she dumped him 6 months later, he couldn't handle it, so he left. And I tell you, it was only a month later till the other guitarist fucked her. And I was like, man, you guys are so insecure. Why? Because she shits on your talent. You are in her shadows. But I just want to touch on, when I came out, because I was pretty well known here in the metal scene in Melbourne as, you know, a dude singing. When I came out as trans, I was actually afraid that when I came out, all my metalhead friends would just go, fuck you. And they were the most supportive people out of everyone else. Even over my family. I think probably because they'd seen me do so many fucked up things on stage, they thought, well, that's not that fucked up. So we've seen you do worse. And they probably all wanted to fuck me at the time. So it's probably, it's a bit weird. But
well, it might be different in a different country. I was just having this conversation the other day, is that like not all countries are like this, where, I mean, like if you go to Denmark, they have baby changing stations in the men's bathroom, not the women's bathroom. So there's just a whole different concept of what a woman's role is and what a man's role is. And so I've only lived in America, but I've been to a lot of different countries, and I feel like we're the worst when it, I mean, maybe not the worst. I know there's a few others that I don't even want to list, but we're up there. with misogyny. So I don't really know how Australia is. So maybe it's a little bit better.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, we're like a mini America. I've been to America. I lived in America for 2 years, in 2016 to 2018.
Yeah.
I love America. I think America is the most beautiful place. I think the people are beautiful. I just think there are small pockets that are a bit deranged, that's all. And sadly, they're the loudest people. And the rest of the world sees that the most, which sucks. Because it puts a shit stain on America. And it's not... America's not a bad place. It's not all those idiots that you see. That's like this much of it, you know? So...
Yeah.
My first experience in America was in Texas at a layover. And a little old woman sitting next to me outside the toilet said, "Are you trans, dear?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm like,
oh my God, how
and she
sweet.
said, "If you need to go to the toilet, I'll hold your hand in there if you're a bit afraid." I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my
And that
God,
was my
that's so
first
sweet.
experience with Americans. So that's the thing that I hold dear. I think the majority over the minority, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so cool. And I'm sorry that the way that I said Texas, I was like, ugh. but my dad moved to Texas and he lives in like this really little town and they're just rampantly not
repressed,
evolving in this little town. They're just like, I got guns in my car. Not that, you know, I'm not saying anything in either way about guns. It's just that I'm trying to paint a picture of this town where he lives. He's just like, anybody from the outside comes in here, you know.
I'm going to get my gun.
I don't think that Texas lady's from this town.
So,
But anyway.
So being in the middle scene, being in LA, and everyone's a bit like, you know, not your thing. How was that like? You know, once you're playing in bands, getting gigs and making a name for yourself. Has that been a struggle within that? I can only imagine what LA's like. How has it been to try and make a name for yourself as an artist there? Like.
Well, I think I made every mistake. I basically didn't do anything right. I mean, air quote, right. So I probably made things a lot harder than they could have been for myself, because I did refuse to schmooze with people and I refused to like be nice to people just to know them or get in the right circle, you know. And I feel like my whole life I've just been like on the other side of the wall. Like there would be like all the people I need to know or all the famous people or all the people that can make things happen for you. And then I would just be on like the other side of the wall. And I don't know if I placed myself there or if it just happened that way. So I don't know what it's like to make a name for myself. I haven't done it. I still haven't made a name for myself in Los Angeles. It's weird. It's just, I don't know. Like I was called for this one gig for Avril Lavigne, right? And this is no offense to Avril. I think she's awesome, and I don't think she had anything to do with this whole conversation. But I went and I did the audition, and the guitar player looks at me and goes, "Why did they call you? They're not going to hire a girl." And I was like, this is just what I've been through like my whole life, and so. You either got to find an all-girl band or forget about it. And so nobody calls you unless, I mean, like Slipknot's never going to call me. And maybe they would because I have a mask. You know what I'm saying? Like who's going to want a girl for like the style of music that I love, like especially metal? Like, I don't know, that maybe now it's getting to be a little more cool, but now I'm over it. I'm like, well, fuck you guys. But I think the way that I've made a name for myself the most is when I finally moved to YouTube and I was able to prove myself before they could click away or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of just showing up to the gig with the gig bag and they all of a sudden make these assumptions about you. I mean, that's just how it is. But like now I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to do videos where all I'm doing is playing. And so everyone gets to see me play and stop talking about or making assumptions. They can see it and then decide. And plus I could reach a wider audience, and just really focus on just the bass world, which is what I love. That's my world. And just kind of do what I want. And so I've just done what I want ever since. And I think that's the name that I've made, even though it's very small. I don't think like a ton of, I mean, like this many people know who I am, and they're all here right now. Hi, you guys. I love you guys. Hi, let me look at the camera. Hi, I love you guys. So everyone that knows who I am is literally here right now. And so it's a small group, but it's a tight group, and I love them. And I feel like that's what it is. People either resonate with me or they don't. But I don't think I've reached a large number. So I can't answer that number. I mean, I can't answer that question about how to do it.
Yeah,
I certainly don't know.
The way you're doing it's the right way. I think the way we present ourselves and stay true to ourselves is the most important thing these days. Because I don't know, if you look throughout history of artists who sell their souls and play the game, there's a lot of unhappiness. So I think happiness is more important than selling your soul to fit into a social group. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about it? Playing music? Just makes me happy. That's all that makes me happy over anything personally. So, that's the most important thing, really.
Me too, and I almost forgot what it was like until a couple weeks ago when I did the show where it wasn't all originals, but it was a lot of my originals, and I got so high off that, like performing and doing my original songs. I was like, this is amazing, because it's been so long. It's been probably a year and a half that I'm doing live streaming, and I started with just doing my songs, and then I started doing just cover songs, and then whatever people would request, and then themes, but a lot of covers, a lot of learning stuff on the fly. But then getting back to the roots of like just performing and doing my own songs was, oh my God, such a high. It was so fun. I was like, man, this is why I'm doing this.
Absolutely. And I watch your Twitch stream, and we'll talk about that. I'll play a song and then we'll come back and talk about YouTube and Twitch and recording music and stuff. But I watch your streams, and I can, and it's probably when I do my live streams as well, I perform better when I'm playing my own songs. And I could see that with your stream that you did recently when you were playing your own songs. And it's great playing covers and all that because they're great songs, But when you play your own songs, it is just, yeah man, I'm vibing off this. I can change this to how I want. I can vary it. I can put in extra stuff. There's so much you can do with it. And people won't be like, huh? That's not right. So that's a good thing about it. I'm going to play a song you mentioned because I didn't have this queued up, and I just I'm going to play the Suicide Note video clip, if that's okay with you.
Okay. This is also a
awesome,
Vicente.
yeah. So I actually haven't seen this yet.
This is where I die and
Awesome.
come back to
So,
life.
folks, grab yourself something, a beverage or something. I don't know, whatever it is. Your vice, some fruit. I don't know. And kick back and enjoy, and we'll be back very shortly. This is Suicide Note by Nicki Tedesco. Boom. Yeah. Oh, I've got to do all the muting stuff to her. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Let's do it.
Tell me about your issues. Tell me about your issues.
What the what?
Boom.
Hi, everybody in and I'm Nikki from Frantic Ginger.
And I'm Delaney, the director and producer
Oh.
of the music video.
Oh, I want to see this.
And this is Elphaba, the superstar of the video.
Oh,
Me and
doggo!
my class making the video, thank you so much for watching it.
But since this is a serious subject matter, we do want to let you know that we do not advocate suicide at all.
It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
So if no one's told you today that they love you,
We love you! And if you're ever feeling really down or really bad, just reach out, because there's people who care.
like us,
So stay in touch with us by subscribing and write us a note.
but not a suicide note. No.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you are feeling like, you know, fucked up, down, reach out to somebody. There's an awesome community of people here, awesome community of people around YouTube, all these music communities. Do make sure you reach out to people. And because, you know, at the end of the day, you are not alone. You are not. And no, you may think you are, but you definitely are not. There are tons of people out there willing to listen. And even if you can't find somebody, there's help out there as well. Because,
So true, and you're right. This community is so wonderful, and I feel like it's like a combo of like metalhead hippies community, the bass community, your community, and God is so loving, such a loving team. And I mean, I called the suicide hotline twice, and I ended up with a resentment because they weren't very helpful at all. I'm just gonna be honest. So like, reach out to us. Call us first before you call them. You might be
yeah,
pissed
we're better.
off. Yeah. If you have
Yeah,
to, call
yeah.
the suicide hotline, but depends on who's working that day.
Righty, what do I want to talk about now? I've lost my train of thought now. What's going on? Oh, I want to thank Brad for the super chat during that song too. Thank you, Brad, so very much. Super kind
Yeah,
of you.
thank you, Brad.
Where was I? I wanted to talk about YouTube. So you started with YouTube. How much did YouTube help you with your music and you know? You said earlier about just starting, and I agree 100% with that. Everybody starts at zero. Pete John says this all the time, so never feel like, you know, and make mistakes publicly. That's the best way to do it. How did you go into YouTube? How did you jump into that?
I learned the Metallica song Anesthesia, right? I learned that bass solo, the beginning of it anyway. I mean, the second half's just a jam. Come on. So, yeah, I learned the first half, and I kept playing it, and I was living with this guy that's a producer, and he goes, why don't you make a video of that? It's so good. Why don't you do a video? And so I was like, okay, I'll do a video. So he helped me with that first one, and we spent a lot of time on that. There was a lot of editing, and it took a long time, but it was shared by EMG, so it got a lot of traction right away, and I think that was like my first video. And then I remembered being at a party, and I told this girl, I think I'm gonna do another video. I mean, now that I have like 200 videos, I'm like, whatever. But I was like, I think I'm gonna do another video, and it was this whole thing. Like I had to plan it out, and it was the Muse video, and so I was like, I'm gonna sing, and then I'm gonna do this and do that, and there was just so much thought. But then I did it, and then the next time I saw her, she said, oh, hey, did you ever do that video? And I feel like she was kind of half expecting me to not have done it, and so I said, yeah, I did it. And I saw that in her eyes, like she was like, wow, you did it. And me too. I was like, oh my God, wow, I did it. I was like, okay, I'm going to do another video, you know? And then I had to keep coming up with ideas. And then I started being like, what does it take to gain traction on YouTube? And I'd watch all these how-to videos on YouTube. And they're like, you got to be consistent with your content, put out a video a week. So I started doing that. And then I was like, well, let me do gear reviews, because I guess that's what I should do. And then I started doing gear reviews, and then I just started like hating that so much. I mean, I'm sorry, you guys. I can't stand doing gear reviews. after a while, and just putting out a video, just thinking I have to put out a video every week because my goal is to XYZ. I don't know. After I did that for a year, I was like, I'm just going to do what I want from now on.
It's hard work.
So that
it's hard work,
happened.
YouTube,
But,
being a YouTube creator. It's really hard work, and I don't think people fully understand how hard it is to continue to keep ideas coming, to continue to engage, to try and... it's really hard work. It's the behind-the-scenes stuff that's the super hard work.
Yeah, I mean, I would just be so desperate for like, oh God, what content am I going to put out now? Should I review pics? Should I review the difference between stone pics and plastic pics? I swear to God, that was where I was at, and I was like, no. You need to find something else. And so I just sort of slowed down, and I thought, let me do like vlog style stuff, and people weren't really into that.
I've gone
that's
right
a
back
really
to the
old video
beginning.
right there. That was one of my first. Yeah, that was one of my first. That was.
You've got the
video was
sweep
so
over
funny.
hair. That's how I can tell it's an old one.
Because the way I edited, I did this really quick editing because it was popular at that time, just doing like quick edits, and it's just funny. It's a funny video. You guys should watch it because I was talking about how the Ampeg weighs like 150,000 pounds or something. I don't know. It's funny. And then I renamed the pedal to the balls pedal because it sounded
You got a lot of videos.
so good. Oh my God, I have so many videos and I don't even know.
And look, the production's really good too. You know what I really love about your bass videos too? I really love that on Twitch you do it. How you have the close up of you actually fingering. Oh, I said fingering. Yes, I got it in there. Of your bass. I really love that stuff. I really love some of the camera angles you catch with your bass playing because that's really cool. There was one just here on this video which just went by. If I can scroll back. Which was kind of this one here, which is down the neck. I love that kind of stuff. Oops, hang on. I don't even have it up on the screen, do I? I'm such a pro. Whoops. Here we go. There we go. This stuff here. Let's see if I can find it again. Geez, I'm doing well today.
That's when I used to like put on a lot of makeup and really get ready for videos. Now I'm like,
I don't do it
whatever.
anymore. It's like...
It's just too much work.
There's the shot I was looking for. That one there. I love those kind of shots. Those shots are so cool. So you've been doing. It looks like you've been on YouTube for 11 years. 11 years, yeah. What made you jump over to Twitch?
Oh, when my YouTube channel got shut down, everybody knows that delightful story. But my YouTube channel.
No,
it's not a fun story, and I feel like it's hard to tell the story without throwing someone under the bus that did it to me. But it's like a somebody that I know personally put a copyright strike on my video, and they did the takedown request. And because usually people will do a copyright, but they don't do a takedown request. They just do like, no, you can't monetize it, or no, it's blocked in some countries. But this was like a take the channel down until they take this video off. And so, but when that happens on YouTube, then they shut down your channel for like 90 days. So I had to, I have 2 channels. So I just started live streaming on the Frantic Ginger channel. But then as I was going on Twitch and they made me an affiliate, which just means I can have my own emotes at that point. And there was a couple other benefits. But what they said, because I use Restream, I think you use Restream too. I heard you say that, but I was using Restream to go everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, and everything all at the same time, because I was like, oh, this will be cool. I'll go straight there. I'll leave the video on YouTube. I'll leave the video on Facebook. I will be live on Twitch. But then Twitch has an exclusivity clause where you can only go live on Twitch. So then I was like, I was really upset. I was like, I can't just go to Twitch. What about my YouTube people? And then finally I just said, you guys, please come to Twitch because that's where I'm going. I finally just bit the bullet begrudgingly, but I think it's probably the best thing I ever did because Twitch is so much fun. I love streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, I have a thing. So when you distribute music through DistroKid, you get an automatic affiliate on Twitch these days, which is really cool. So, and I'm
Oh.
streaming right now on Twitch and YouTube. But I kind of figure, hey, I'm so small, and they got so many other bigger fish that they worry about, like Hassan and all these people. Like Hassan just got banned off Twitch for saying a racial slur. So there's all these other big people. They're not going to worry about me, and plus I don't leave the videos up. So that I think that's the way around. Plus I don't make anything on Twitch. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just figured that it's not a matter of whether I'm big or not. I just thought that they probably had some way to digitally identify that something is being streamed to two different places at once. And that's how they would be notified. I don't think they'd be sitting around going, what's Nicki doing? What's Nicki doing tonight?
So I think I'm going to turn my Twitch into a video game thing, but not like everyone else. I'm going to do How to App on iOS and play iOS games because nobody does that over there. So eventually I'm going to do that. But I love the Twitch. I love your Twitch.
Like Zombie Garden or whatever.
I'm going to play games like harvesting wheat and stuff and just sit there and twiddle my thumbs. No, but I really love your Twitch. I love Twitch as well. I think Twitch is a really super interactive thing. I think that's the difference between Twitch and YouTube. And I love your Twitch. It's super interactive. Where you really want to get involved in it, and it's a family. It's hard to explain how different it is.
It is. It is, and like even though the chat is here, I'm like I feel like I'm ignoring it. I feel so bad that we're ignoring the chat right now. We're not ignoring you. You're here with us. We'll read it later.
Yeah, it's hard with the interviews. Like I normally am interactive on my daily show, but with the interviews, I want to get through as much as I can.
Yeah.
And we do love you. We're not ignoring you. I promise.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not ignoring you. We love you. And you know what is super cool is that I get to know you too, because I've only, heard of you, checked you out, watched your interviews, and then seen you, hung out on Metalhead Hippie. So I feel like we really get to know each other right now.
This is one of my favorite parts of the week, doing these interviews. I love them because there's no rules for me. I have 3 questions that I stick with and the last one. But all the rest is just shit. It's like the shit in between the shit sandwich, which I love shit sandwiches. They taste delicious. What the fuck am I talking about?
Did we get all your 3? Yeah. Did we get your 3
just
questions?
The basic ones, what music would you have when you were growing up, and your first album.
Okay.
They're just simple stuff, and then we can just make it up as we go. But so now I just want to touch on this.
But no, I don't want to hang up. I'm like, we can't hang up. We've got like 5 more hours to go. So
yeah, that's Metalhead Hippies Avenue. We still have at least 35 minutes to hang, which is cool.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, good. Oh, Metalhead Hippie, did you handle your mixer first of all? Need to know.
The mixer story. It needs a sound effect. The mixer.
Oh wait, no, I have one. Actually, I feel like that's too good of a sound for that mixer. That mixer needs this. Yeah.
And the one thing about my Stream Deck, I can't do sound effects on it when I'm doing an interview because of the loop back sound to get someone in. If I try to do it, you'll get an echo, and it's crazy shit. So I miss out on my sound effects today. I can see them all taunting me on my little Stream Deck, and I want to press them. It's not going to happen.
Wait. Some people said that they only went to Twitch because of me. So sweet. But then Rapon said, oh, she had us all take a blood oath when we went to Twitch.
It's a bit like that. Yeah, well, I watch the Twitch stuff I watch is a lot of gaming stuff, and I'm really like blown away by some of the really fun camera angles they do, and it's super interactive. There's one guy I watch, Barjo, and he has like if you donate or whatever, you send whatever it is, it puts a cone of silence over his head and he can't talk, and it mutes his microphone for a minute. So people are just like sending through money to mute him. I love that kind of shit. It's so interactive, That's so cool.
I know. And then, everybody has their own little things that they do. Like Delta Crab, he has a guitar that every time somebody subs, he puts their name on a little embossed sticker. those little
yeah.
machines, you know, and then it prints it up, and then he puts it on the guitar. So he's got this guitar with all his subs named. And there was another girl that I'm not promoting this, but she was like
Hot
one of the
tub
hot tub girls, and
girls.
she was floating on like a gigantic
Yeah,
blow up
I
pickle.
remember that.
But every time somebody subbed, she'd write them on the pickle, and I was like, you know, that's really creative. I was like, I want to do something like that, but not without the hot tub, and without the pickle.
Okay, I'll
What can
admit,
I do?
I had this strange
Anyway,
obsession with
not
this
yet.
hot tub girl on Twitch. And it wasn't that I was attracted to her or anything like that. But what I loved was she had a whiteboard behind her, and every time somebody subbed, she'd write their name on it. But she had her camera in reverse, so she'd write their names, and they were all backwards, so nobody could read the names. And I was just sitting there just laughing my ass off every show going, nobody can read them, you idiot. That's the only reason I watched. Yeah, they
nobody
did,
told
but she was
her?
like, oh, but you don't understand. If I change the camera around the opposite way, I don't look as good. And I love that. It's like beauty over being able to read people's names on the screen. So conceited. I love it so much. I had to give her money. You know, it was beautiful stuff.
That just it's the same. Okay, anyway, I don't.
Have you ever thought about doing a hot tub show?
No. Not even once. Actually, well, wait. When I go on vacation, and then I usually always end up in a hot tub, but somehow watching Metalhead Hippie Show. And I'm like trying to keep one hand dry so I can like message people. And then I'm like, oh, I should tell them that I'm just hanging out in the jacuzzi. And then I'm like, I don't know, this doesn't seem appropriate. This is gonna sound. And then
Boom.
then I'm like, but they gotta know that I'm invested in his show. I'm here in a freaking jacuzzi, and I'm still at the
It's a bit
show.
like that. There's,
Yeah. So that's the only kind of hot tub.
look at hippie. Damn. Boom.
Boom to the boom boom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
That's a term I mean.
Just say $5. Somebody get a hot tub. Somebody
Thank you, Rat
get-
Bones.
I have a little bowl of warm water.
What was I going to say? I'm losing the plot. Now,
But those hot tubs, they're just like hot tubs in their living room. They just like there's like a blow up hot tub.
yes,
their
this
living
one
room.
girl I watched, her mum had bought the blow up hot tub for her, and it was in the garage. And she was in the hot tub one night. She goes, "Oh, my mum's come home. You can probably hear the car coming up the driveway." Like, your mum is fully involved in this. Like, I can just see her sharing the cash with her mum after the hot tub show. Like, man, this world, it's fucking awesome, isn't it?
I don't. Okay. I mean, I'm not a mom. I don't understand, but I feel like that's doesn't
Progressive.
seem right.
You know,
but
sometimes I
okay.
watch hippies show in the toilet, and I tell you, this is something I've never admitted to before. One time I was watching it, and I was.
Oh, wait. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Should
this
we
is
continue?
worth it.
You
It's
guys.
worth it. Trust me, it's got to pay. It's got to pay off. I was
Okay, all
actually
right.
doing a number 2 on the toilet, and
Okay.
hang on. And,
Oh
and
my
just as
God,
it
no, it's
just
not
as it
paying
dropped,
off.
Hippie went on a boom, 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 and I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was in time. It was in time. It was-
No.
Now every time I think of boom, I think of that moment. Thanks, Hippie. Hey, you never know where this show's going to go. So let's talk about recording. Segue.
What did you say?
Let's talk about recording music. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Let's please
So,
change the subject.
so you're still old school, yeah? You're still recording music in actual recording studios, aren't you? No.
No. No.
All right.
I
So
record-
out of the albums that you've done, which ones are in a recording studio? Because I've seen videos of you recording in a studio. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah. Only the Frantic Ginger album. By the way, you guys, can anyone acknowledge my shirt right now? Does anyone know Agretzko?
I don't.
You guys, season 4 is coming out tonight. Netflix. Donut bother
See,
me.
I need Netflix. I miss so much.
She's raging out right now. That's what's happening in this shirt. Okay, anyway. So the second she sings death metal.
No, I haven't. What is it called?
You haven't seen it? A Gretzko.
I'm writing it on my phone.
Let me type it in the chat. So there. AGGRETSUKO.
Excellent.
Hi, everybody that's new that just came in the chat. Yes, you gotta check her out. At least if you don't have Netflix, then just go on YouTube and look for some stuff.
Thank you.
Stuff. But you're gonna love it. So she basically is like, and I know I was like, don't wear the Agretzko shirt. You're gonna end up promoting Agretzko. And I'm like, I don't care. This is the conversation I had this morning. I don't care. I love Agretzko. Sanrio doesn't need Hello Kitty's company doesn't need you to promote Agretzko. I don't care. I love her.
Oh, it's from the creators
That's
of
what
Hello
happened this
Kitty,
morning.
says Jen. Right, cool.
Yeah. Okay, but this is what she does. She's like a disgruntled worker in an office job, like just kind of getting her soul sucked out. But then she brings her microphone everywhere so she can just go, like, she'll either lock herself in a room and just start singing death metal songs to, like, make her feel better. And so that's what I love. And it's always a story about, like, what just happened.
Excellent. I can't wait to watch that now.
It's so funny. You gotta see it. Okay. Okay, so the second album, Frantic Ginger, because I tried to rebrand myself. Because I was like, I want to be a band. I don't want to be a person.
Right.
But anyway, it was probably a bad idea because then now it's just confusing. But anyway, the Frantic Ginger album called Inside Your Wasteland, 5 of those songs were done in a studio. So my friend, I was super depressed. Here's what happened. I was super depressed. And my friend goes, you should just come out here and record some songs, like 5 songs. Just come out here and record like 5 songs. I've got a guitarist you can hire and a drummer you can hire. And I was like, fuck it. Okay. And then I started, putting together the songs I was going to do. And then I went out and then I sent him the music. And this is when I learned. I told the guitarist, can you just put like some sprinkles of greatness on this one song? I thought he was going to understand what I meant. Unfortunately, we were not on the same page. So when I get there, I said, no, it needs to sound more like someone's being hanged in a park and you're watching him die and you're looking in his eyes as the life rolls out. That's what I want the guitar solo to sound like. So I've learned to get more specific about my how I want the guitar to be. But so yeah, 5 of these songs were done in that studio. But other than that, everything is and to the behest, is that the right word? Of everyone, I always use programmed drums. So anytime you're like, oh, those drums, unless it's on this album, they've been created. They have been created by me, but not really, because the app that I use, or the plugin that I use, is one where it's sampled real drummers, and sampling. It's not just sampling a sound either; it's sampling parts. And so then you put parts together and then you change them through the MIDI, but either way, they already have that natural feel. So it's not just like I'm going ding, 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 and it goes through the whole song. So that's why nobody can tell that they're fake drums. Oh, they're programmed, they're MIDI drums. They're sample drums. I don't know what's the best way to say.
I use them all the time. I have an electronic drum kit. That's how I play my stuff. So, and this whole channel is about recording from home and all that kind of stuff. I record everything using an iPad, and I still get these fuckwits these days who you say, oh yeah, I record my music on iOS, and I get this fucking eye roll. It's like they look down on you or something. It's like, really, I feel sorry for people who are like that, because they're still living in a time that doesn't exist anymore. Like the power to make music is, as Pete John says it all the time, it's all ones and zeros now. It's all digital. You can do it on your phone and it'd be as competitive as everybody else. now that you do all your stuff, do you come across those people who, fire back that shit? Oh, you're not a real artist. You don't record in a real studio. Do you come up against that kind of pushback bullshit?
First of all, I'm taking a note because I think Pete Johnson, this is the second time that you quoted him, so I guess I better look it up.
J-O-H-N-S, yeah.
Oh, Pete Johnson. Okay.
He's the GarageBand guru. He does GarageBand on iOS.
Oh, okay. Here's two things. If I do come in contact with someone like that, I don't talk to them anymore. And number two, I like and heart that comment and just move on because they're obviously just whatevers. I mean, it's so easy for people to. Nobody's going to say that to your face. First of all, they're only going to say that online. And once I see somebody say something negative online, I understand that they're a type of a troll, and I know they would never say that to my face. If someone had the guts to say that to my face, I would be so happy to have a conversation about it with them, because there's nothing wrong with disagreeing on something. But I feel like that opens the door to having a real conversation about something. Be like, oh, well, why do you feel that way? You know what? Tell me why you feel that way. I want to understand. And then maybe I can learn something from them. And then maybe they can learn something from me or not. But either way, it's not going to be a conducive conversation through a one-way message on a YouTube video or something. But I don't really get that, no. But I'm lucky. I get other things.
What do you get?
But I don't get that.
What are these other things?
Okay, like a good effort, but she's playing it wrong. And I'm like, heart, thumbs, yay. And then like
All right, so yes.
But I don't understand why this is. That goes to the F right there. Like just trying to find something that I've done wrong. I'm like, yay, thanks for watching.
So being somebody who's in the public eye and being a YouTube content creator, there's so many of us who are now. If you release a song, you're now in the public eye. You don't have to be like some superstar these days. And we all, from time to time, will and have dealt with trolls. Is there a method that you use to deal with the fuckwits?
Well, first I used to get upset. Then I would maybe delete the comment and then just be mad, like steam. And then I better watch a YouTube video on how to handle this because that's how I learned everything, is on a how-to videos on YouTube. That's why I love your channel name, How To App, because it's like, I learned everything there, from how to change car filters, how to cook a chicken, bake a chicken, and everything. I learned freaking everything there. How to do settings on Studio One. So I looked up how to handle trolls, and that's when I learned about the different types of trolls. And I started reading the comments, and this is how I learned. He didn't say this on his video, but I was reading the comments, and some guy said something so mean to him. Actually, I'm assuming it was a guy. It might not have been a guy. I don't know. But there was a comment that was so mean. And he liked it and hearted it and didn't even respond to it. And I thought, now that is classy. So it's like, that's what I'm going to do from now on, Because first of all, you're just not even giving them the time of day, which is what they want. They want the time of day. So when you don't give them the time of day, and then you just kind of like heart and smile. And then it's like, I don't know. I was like, that's genius. If it really bothers me, I'll delete it. Like, can I lick your boots? I'll delete it.
Let's talk about this. So, because we're on this subject. So since my transition, so 2003 was when I came out and began transition, I noticed the change in comments that started coming to me. And I really got an idea of how the shit women go through. And because it's very different. Yes. And I'll tell you a little story. So, we've all had, like, as females, the dick pic is something that is more common than people want to acknowledge. And I used to get them so much that I came up with this method that really was satisfying. So when I would get a dick pic, I would go to the person's profile, take a screenshot of their face, and then draw a dick on their face, and then send them back the picture of their face with a dick on it, and then block them before they had a chance to respond. And I just always had this image of this guy staring at a picture of his face with a dick on it going, I can't even fucking respond. I have a dick on my face. I have a dick on my face. It's the best. It's so satisfying.
My favorite part of that is that you block them right away, so you can't hear what they. So you're just like, I'm done. I don't have to hear la 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 la.
It's the best. It is so good.
This is so fascinating, though, because you have gone through that transition. Is that you've got to see both sides. I mean, I am so fascinated by trans people. I used to have a podcast, and I mean, this is just a side note. I used to have a podcast with a super religious guy. And I was like, I want to have a podcast with someone that has a completely different opinion of the world. And then we'll have these like conversations about things and see if we can learn stuff from each other. And then I said, hey, I want to bring a trans on the show. And that's when he was like, I quit the podcast. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I did all the work anyway. But yeah, I'm so fascinated because I feel like what someone has to go through and I mean, it's like, I'm just worried about what I'm saying because I don't want to say anything wrong. You have my heart so much because of what you've gone through and still are going through. And then what's beautiful is you get to see both sides. So like you can relate to me on a different level now that you might not have been able to do that before.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, just like even this conversation.
When you go throughout history, this is an interesting thing. Like trans people have been, there's a lot of people out there who think, oh, it's just some new phenomenon that's just happened. Like, oh, but if you go back throughout history and indigenous cultures, all indigenous cultures, the trans people were always the shaman and the leaders of all indigenous things because they had the knowledge of both sides. They were like the counselors. They were the counselors to keep the straight people together because they couldn't, because they you know, there's that old adage, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. You hear that thing all the time. And it often confuses me that there is, here's two sides of a gender spectrum that need each other to procreate, but they fight like cats and dogs. And then there's trans people who have the experience from both sides, but trans people are treated like shit and shunned, where trans people actually have a lot of knowledge to probably help straight people come together.
Yes, they could help. They could help society so much. Wow. I didn't know that.
We're an interesting species. New. You know, we're fucked up. We're an interesting species. So what?
I mean, you've probably experienced everything at this point, you know,
there's still a lot I want to experience.
Because there's a lot of emotional shit going on to begin with. And then when you go through that, there's more emotional stuff. So everything, physical. It's just, my hat's off to you.
I don't wish it on anybody, but at the same time, I do, because it's something that you can't ever. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. But then, so many good things are a blessing and a curse. Good and bad, they're all dichotomies. You know what I mean? So when you record your music, I love what Hippie just wrote there. We're all freaks. Absolutely, we are. What do you use? What software do you use to actually record your music?
I use Studio One. I know everyone's kind of bored of this because I'm always talking about this, but I use Studio One. I'm on version 5 right now. And no, I wasn't lying, just that I scratched my ear. I know it's like a telltale when people are lying, but no, it actually itched. I'm just saying. There it is. Look, it's on display. Okay, so I use Studio One version 5, and then I use Ampeg. What do they call it? It's like a SVX is their version of the SVT amp. So that's the plugin I use for my bass. And then I use various vocal effects and plugins, and I'm still there because there's a lot. Depends on what you want to do. So I'll use different stuff for my vocals, but I always pretty much use 2 different ones for the bass. I'll use either Parallax by oh my god, Dark Glass, and then or the IK Multimedia's Amplitude with SVX, which is like supposed to be the Ampeg SVT. And then I just have this mixer. It's an old model, but I tried to upgrade it, and the newer ones that are in the same range, the same like size and have the same features are just made so crappy these days that I'm like, hey, if this is still working, I'm gonna keep it because it's solid. It's like made of metal, you know? And so I just use this to input everything. And so it's basically like my interface. It's basically like a really gigantic sound card with a mixer. And then I just use Studio One as the DAW. And so that's what I use for recording. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And then for other things, I use like Photoshop for thumbnails, and then because I know this.
No, this is the interviews are everything. So I know when we do the interviews, it's not specific.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then for editing videos, I use Final Cut.
You're an Apple or a Mac person? An Apple or a PC person? An Apple or a Mac person? What am I doing? A Maple.
Yes. I use Maple. No, yeah, I use Mac.
I use all 3.
And I swear to God, it's worth the money, you guys. If anyone is wondering, like it is expensive, and I used to think, oh, just artists use it and musicians use it, and it's just because it's trendy or whatever. And so as soon as something's trendy, I'm like, no, I'm not. Forget it. I don't care. Like if a lot of people are doing it, I'm like, I'm not doing it. which is what I did for a long time with Mac. But then I would have to keep upgrading my studio every 2 or 3 years. I'd have to go spend another few grand to get a strong, like a powerful computer PC. And then finally I just bit the bullet and spent thousands of dollars on the Mac, and I haven't had to fix it. I have never got a virus. I haven't had to do anything. Like it's not blue screening. I mean, all the things that you hate about computers, it's not that you hate them about computers. It's that you hate it about PCs. So all the things that were ever a problem on a computer, they are a PC problem because look, and now, oh shoot, my it's going to talk to me, but anyway, that's its name. Anyway, so the Mac, like I can't say enough about it because nothing ever goes wrong.
It's personal taste,
Nothing.
you know, too. You got to use what you have. Use the things that make you happy. That's the most important thing, you know. I know I used to see people get really butthurt over like, oh, you use Android and you use Apple, and then they have a fight over it, and it's like, it's a fucking phone. Like, does it make you fucking happy? Yes, then fucking don't shit on my parade because I don't give a shit what you use. You know,
who's having a fight over apples and Androids? Oh my god, they've got nothing to do.
Piss off back to Twitter. Like seriously, go over there and argue over nothing. Fuck, leave me alone. Like,
yeah, I've got a job for them. Come clean my windows, you guys. You're too bored.
Come lick my boots.
It's gotta be yes. So wait, what other kind of comments have you? How did I'm intrigued also more about what you were saying about the comments that changed on YouTube. What happened? I used to have a guy that would just like follow me and my boots. I was like, I gotta stop wearing his boots. He's got a thing with my boots. I had to block him everywhere. I was like, I don't know.
You guys some of the messages that I get every week that you guys don't get to see, they're fucking horrendous.
Oh,
they're fucking horrendous. They're really bad. Like, and I'm not talking like, you know, like filthy or anything. I'm talking like comments that say, "I hope you die." Like, it's just like, you know, it's got to a point though that you just go, oh, wow, I can't even get offended. It's like, I feel so bad for you, really. Like, there's some fucked up units out there, you know. There's some real.
I can't even comprehend that. It just
is.
sounds
There's some
insane.
fucked up units out there. So, folks, really take this as gospel. No matter how fucked up you think you are, trust me, there are so many more fucked up units out there just waiting to leave you a comment.
Oh my! Did you say units?
Yeah.
Did you say units?
Units. They are.
Yeah,
Units.
definitely. Oh my God! Well, no, I've never had any comments that are that bad. I mean, thank God. Oh man. Well, I've watched a lot of I do follow a lot of LGBTQ plus
Alphabet
IA
soup.
channels, and and they'll have videos that are like reading hate comments, and I'm like, oh, let me check this out, see what it's like. It's devastating, the kind of comments that they go through, and they're just trying to laugh it off. I mean, I'm sure it takes a toll, but hearing those, it's like, you guys can't imagine unless you guys have watched one of those videos. Yeah, they're just like wishing death on people.
You get to a point where it just
so
becomes
bad.
water for a duck's back, and that is not all people can handle it. So I think people need to think about what they write, but you can't get through to some of these people because they're not angry at you, they're seething at themselves, and that's where you've got to get to, I think, in your own head. And understand they're actually not angry at you. They're most of the time, I think of it as the homophobia issue. Whatever they're hating you for is who they are really deep inside, and they're not able to express that. That's what I always think,
Yeah.
So,
And they're
on that wonderful note, so we are getting close to the end, and I know you want to do some death metal growls before I ask you the final question. What would you like to do?
the final question.
Would you like the final question and then some death metal growls, and then we'll go out with your new Christmas song? Would you like the final question first and then some growls? What would you like?
Did we miss anything?
Is there anything you
wanted
want to talk
about?
Is there anything I can go over time? I don't really care. There are no rules.
I don't know. I just want to hang out. Don't
All right.
go.
We'll hang out. I have nowhere to go. What does the audience? What do you guys want? Do you want us to keep chatting?
What do you guys want?
Put a one in the chat if you want us to keep chatting. Boom, sub him up, folks.
Oh my God. Well, I do want
Yes.
to tell you one fun thing. I put out this video, and then Jay Weinberg shared it the other day, the drummer from Slipknot, and I was
Wow.
like, oh, Jay Weinberg shared my video.
Wow.
And so I finally, like, my Instagram count, this is so sad. This is so sad that I even look at the numbers, but I look at like my follower count, and it keeps, I get some and then I lose some and I get some, because I'm like, oh, did I lose some because I said this, or did I gain some from that post? Like, I'm trying to understand analytics by guessing, which is stupid. But I've been teetering. I can't reach 3,000. Well, now I reached 3,000. And then I also reached 8,000 on YouTube. And I thought I would be excited because at one point, one of my goals was I want to reach 10,000 YouTube subscribers. And I thought I would be more excited right now that I finally have reached, well, almost 10,000. But I'm just more excited that there's 39 people hanging out with us right now. I feel like it's quality, not quantity. So I love you all, and I just wanted to thank you all for hanging out and stuff, because it's not
Absolutely.
the 8,000, it's
Yeah.
the 40.
I stereo that. Thank you all for being here today. You guys rock. And you know what's interesting about analytics too? I think every YouTube channel or even Twitch are going through that at the moment. And I don't think it's actually people leaving and coming back. I think it's the analytics. There's issues with processing because there's so many people with channels and so many shows going out. The analytics fuck up all the time. And I see it every day. You go down 2 and then the 2 come back 2 hours later. And it's not people leaving. It's just the analytics. Do you get hung up on analytics? Is it?
No. I
Good.
just it's the bass channel. I started working with the bass channel. I mean, it's slowed down, but he would tell me things like, I've been watching my analytics, and these type of videos don't do well, but these do well. And then I have to do it. It's got to be a 10-minute video. It can't be a 12-minute video, and it can't be an 8-minute. And he was like telling me, and I was like, I'm quitting. I was like, I don't care enough. And the sad thing is, it's one of those things, like, I know if I would just put like 10% more into reviewing the analytics, maybe I could target what needs to go out there, what people want. But then I'm like, is that what I want to do? Like, do I want to give the people what they want so that I will get more people? And I'm like, the answer is just no. The answer is like, just no, because I've been the president of an HOA, and when you try to give everybody what they want, everything ends up beige. And then everyone complains that it's beige. So it's like, I don't want to water down anything. And so I just think as soon as I started doing only what I really wanted and only what brought me joy, you know, there's like that KonMari method about cleaning out your stuff. But I do that with like everything, like activities. Is this bringing me joy? I mean, working out doesn't bring me joy, but it kind of does, because it's like the endorphins that it gives me. So everything I go, does this bring me joy or not? Or do I absolutely have to do this? And so once I only try to do things that really bring me joy, that I just realized it's become quality, not quantity. And so that's why I don't care about the numbers, because like, I know you guys, I know everybody that's here, you know what I mean? And they know me, and we're like friends. So it doesn't matter that there's not 1,000 of you, because if there was 1,000, would I know all of you? I mean, would I know them all deeply? I mean, I don't know everyone deeply, like deeply personally, but I feel like we've shared a lot of time together, and I feel like a bond, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't get hung up on the numbers. I've just seen like, that's what you should do if you have a YouTube channel. So I guess I'm just like not a great YouTuber in that aspect. I guess I'll never hit my $50 threshold before they do the payout.
Love? How deep is your love, babe? Sorry. No, that's not the final question.
Is that the final question?
Look, I think, you know, it's quality over quantity. It always is. And if you are true to yourself and you follow, like with my channel, I've only been doing this channel for 17 months. And I've done 464 episodes, you know, of this. And
I saw that
and
number,
it's crazy.
and I was
Like people say,
what?
oh, you should have more subscribers than what you have. But it's not about that. It isn't. What gets me up every day, first and foremost, is why I started the channel, to get out of bed, to get out of bed and stop being miserable about my health. That was always the first thing, and everything afterwards is candy, you know. But it's the community that's the most important thing, and it's being I'm going to change up this channel. Like, there are some changes coming in January 1st. I'm going to keep doing the live streams for the community, but each day I'm going to do I'm going to chop up the live stream to a small 8-minute daily digest to try and reach the people who don't want to hang around for an hour. I'm going to try it. I know I've been putting it off for ages because it's fucking more work, and I just like hanging out.
That's what I've been doing. I've been doing that too, and I have like 10 5-hour streams that I have to go through. So I'm like, ah. But what I've been doing is this. Whenever something funny happens on the stream that I think is going to be good, then I write down the timestamp so that when I go back and edit it, at least I can kind of target that time frame. Because I'm like, I don't want to watch it again. I was already there.
We talked about this at the beginning. I don't watch any of my live streams back, only if I really have to, and it's so painful. It's like, oh my God, it's like getting my tooth replaced. In fact, that was less painful, you know.
The worst for me is when I was eating on the live stream, and I started talking while I was chewing, and I was like, no, you can't do that anymore.
But you can.
At least I learned what not to do.
Do you think that people appreciate you being yourself over being bullshit? I see it there are channels that I watch sometimes, and I do subscribe to them, and I like the information they give, but I do sit there sometimes and think, Are you like this in fucking real life? Because am I actually watching you because I like you, or is it the content? If they're delivering content and I like them as well, it's a massive plus. Because I think you have to be likable, and I think the best way to be, I think, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. I think the more honest you are, the more solid a base of people you'll have watching, because it gives them the opportunity to be themselves as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what I have to say about that is that I used to love this one YouTuber. She does makeup, and I've watched her change though over the years. She was doing a live thing on Instagram where all of a sudden something went viral, and she was like 1 million subscribers, and then she'd watch it and she'd be like 2 million subscribers. Like it was just happening right before her eyes. But then like all this drama happened, and anyway, she's totally weird now. Like I don't even recognize her, and I'm like, I really don't like to watch her, so I'm like unsubscribing and everything. And when I realized that I hit 8,000 subs the other day, I was thinking, because I was thinking about that moment with her, like how, like I'm excited. I'm like, oh, I hit the 8,000 mark, you know, I did it. And I was comparing it to her experience with hitting 12 million or whatever. And I thought, I've earned every one of those subs. Like I have talked to every one of those people. They've asked me a question, I've answered it. And it's not just I did something viral and I did something that people either hate me for or like me for, and now they're following me, probably going to unfollow me tomorrow. And yeah, so so yes, if you like them and you like the content, I was loving her, but now I don't like her content and I don't love her anymore either. So it's sad. But as far as chewing with my mouth open, I shouldn't do that anyway. I shouldn't do that in real life. Why would I do that?
Does it make you happy?
It's a bad idea.
When you do it?
You know, I've only caught myself eating in the mirror one time. I was at like a restaurant, because you never really look at yourself when you eat, right? And I happened to be sitting across from this mirror, and I looked in the mirror. I go, is that what that looks like? My mouth, I was like, you know, like my cheeks were all big. And I was like, no. First of all, let's try littler bites, you know? You know, and then like, let's not talk while it's happening, you know, and then it's hard to look good while you're eating. So
I love that you reevaluated your chewing style. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not actively working on it. No, it happened in that moment. Well, you know, like sushi, like you can't cut the roll in half and it's like this big. And you got to put the whole thing in your mouth. Oh.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm watching this. There's no way to look okay when you do that.
I've never watched myself eat ever, and I'm not going to now. So I'm too scared.
You know what? Everybody go home and try it. You're going to think differently. You're going to be like, you know, I better close my mouth when I chew. It's just polite. But I don't think that should put it, I mean, anyway, to answer your question, I don't think, I'm still myself on the stream. I don't think it's changing myself to at least have a more polite habit of not chewing and speaking into a microphone. I think that's okay. That's an okay improvement.
I love where this show goes. Jen just wrote in the chat, hashtag cutlery etiquette. So that's it, folks. Hashtag it out, cutlery etiquette. Pass it on.
Yep. Yes. You just have to take all the clips of how I'm explaining my chewing methods and just make a little reel. How Nicki chews.
I love it. All right. I'm going to ask this question now because I think it's important. So,
okay.
There's everyone hates.
Oh, I knew Jen was the one that made up the hashtag cutlery.
Everyone hates.
She taught me how to use cutlery properly. I'm just saying. Yeah, you know, I mean, I think in Europe they always eat like this with the fork in the left hand and the knife and the doing all this whole little. Oh, they don't do that. No. But anyway, they do that in other
I
countries,
guess.
right?
I can
Well,
just see
not in
Jen
America,
setting a place at the
it's like
table with
this.
all the cutlery and the spoons going in and out from the left to right. No, pick up the one on the outside.
This is what. Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story, though. Well, I did read a book called Miss Manners, so I already knew how to set the table. But okay, and Metalhead Hippie asked this question before, and I totally ignored it. Are you still here, Hippie? He said, when was the first time that you heard ministry or something like that? But anyway, this story is DJ Triple N Jen, who's the DJ on my show, and she puts together the song list. But every 5 minutes, I'm like, will you add the song? Will you add the song? She puts them in an order that makes sense. And then she adds really cool stuff. We were at, who did we go to see? We went to see Primus, Ministry, and Slayer. It was like Slayer's last show, apparently. and then we went out to eat afterwards. And it must have been the first time we went out to eat. And she's doing this, that kind of thing. And I was like, I must have been like this. What how do you do that? And then I just started, this is how I learned how to play music. I just started copying her. I was like, is it like this? How do, anyway, she taught me how to do it. And she's like, don't be afraid to, I swear to God, okay, there's ways. She goes, don't be afraid to push the food on the fork with the knife. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. Anyway, so then I went out to eat with this group of people, and there was one English guy and then all Americans, right? And so the English guy's sitting here doing the thing, and all the Americans are, doing this. And I'm sitting here doing this. And he was like staring at me, and I was like, see, I've got class now. I got class now. What's up? Yeah. Anyway,
all right, I
want
to ask now, because I think I don't know if this has been asked before. So you and Jen are obviously really good friends. You see that on the stream too. So what's the Jen and Nicki origin story? How did you guys meet? How did you become friends?
Oh my God. The origin story. So, and I have told this story before on the stream, but it's such a fun story. And I love you, Jen. She's such an awesome supporter. And so what happened? Oh, I was playing at this thing called Rock Against MS. And so I would just volunteer as a musician. And so I basically did it every year. They would call me every year to do various songs. And so then I saw her one year, and I met her, and we snapped a picture together, but then that was it. And then the next year saw her again, and she's a volunteer there, right? So she's like in charge when she's there. And you guys know, you hear her voice a lot. You hear like her soothing voice, right? And she also has that aura when she's volunteering, like she knows what's going on and where people need to be. And she would come up to me and be like, okay, you've got 5 minutes. We need you on the stage over here. And then after that, you're going to move over there. Like she knew what was going on. And I was like, oh my God, I need somebody like this in my life. And somebody that knows what's happening and can direct me into places. And then I had a tooth pulled out of my head, and it was like my face was throbbing, and my face was, I felt like just bloated from, someone in there with a tooth out and everything. So I was just all fucked up, basically. And, and I'm running, and I'm like, well, I got to be at the gig. Show must go on. And I got to sing a Lemmy song and play bass and sing. And so I'm just trying to hold my shit together, because show must go on. I'm always like that. And so I show up, I'm dressed. I'm ready to perform. I've got that together, but everything inside is just a fucking whirlwind tornado mess, right? And I see her, and she's all calm. Oh, you're gonna go over here, and we need you here in 5 minutes. And she's doing that with her calm voice. And I just grabbed her by the shoulders, and I said, "Don't leave me. I need you." Something like that. Jen, tell me if I'm wrong. I was like, "I need you. Don't leave me."
And she said her dad had just died 2 days prior too. Yeah.
Her dad had just died.
Fuck.
So we were both just holding it together on the outside, but all messed up on the inside. And so then I don't know what happened, but so we hung out. I wouldn't leave her side. I guess I did. I probably had to sign some shit. I don't know what happened. And I don't remember that day at all, except for the show, because I filmed it. Somebody else filmed it, actually. And then, then I called her and I said, and this goes back to Metalhead Hippie. I called her like a week later because I had gone, I'll tell you in a second. I called her and I said, hey, do you know a band Ministry? Do you know of a band called Ministry? And I don't realize like her extensive knowledge of music, because I didn't know she was a DJ. And so I'm like, do you know of a band called Ministry? Like, Ministry is one of her favorite bands, and they're one of my favorite bands too, right? And this is why we have this common thread of love for all kinds of music.
Thanks,
hey,
Ivan.
thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.
Idea for the super chat. So and this is what she says to me. She pauses. She has these long pauses. You know, I don't have long pauses, really. And I'm all, hey, you know a band Ministry? She goes, yeah. Well, okay. Well, do you want to go see them? I have tickets. Are they VIP tickets? And I'm thinking, this bitch. You know, I'm like, look, I got tickets to Ministry. What? And so I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to answer her questions because I really like her. She made me feel safe that one day. So I'm trying to answer her question. Well, it turns out she already has tickets. She has like super duper VIP tickets, and she's just trying to do math and figure out who she can give the other tickets to. And we're going to do this big math project with transferring tickets around. That's what was going on. But I mean, I wasn't mad. I was just like, what? No, they're not VIP. I didn't want to tell her I got them for free off the band website. Like, I didn't want to tell her that's where I really got the tickets. She got the tickets because, like, the record company called her and was like, hey, want to go see Ministry? Because she's, like, knows people and stuff, and I don't. I'm like, no, I went on Vans.com and got this shit for free. No, they're not VIP tickets. Can we pretend they're... I thought I was bringing something to the table, but apparently I'm not. I just got some shit for free on the web. Anyway, yeah. So that was that. But then anyway, so we went to go see Ministry, and then I don't know, and then we went to go see Slayer, and then we just started like going to see shows, and we were just like fast friends, because not fast temporary quantity friends, but like we were just like, damn, like yes, and we were just, you know, great friends. So yeah. And then when 2020 hit, and then she talked me into having a record release party. Which I fight her all the way to the end. I'm like, no, I don't want to. And then she's usually always right, so I should just say yes from the get-go. But yeah, she's always been a great supporter and a good influence, and just like really believes in me no matter what I'm doing, and you know, unless she's like, no. But that's pretty rare. She's usually like, she's so supportive and so awesome and so kind and so sweet. And so then she would just always watch the live streams, and then eventually she would be here but be in the other room. And then eventually I was like, do you want to come in here and you want to have a microphone? And so that's how she ended up on the show, which I'm so glad.
Thank you, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ivan, again. Well, you know what?
Yeah, so now I can get rid of her.
I was interested to ask the question because I think from watching you guys on Twitch, it really shines through that there is a really, from the little gags you do when you have a break and all the little pieces that you put together, it really radiates across the screen that there is a really deep friendship there. So I didn't need to know the origin story because you can already, I can smell what you're cooking, you know. That came out wrong. Yeah, definitely. So it definitely radiates through there. So and it's, I mean, it must be so good to have somebody like that to do this kind of stuff. You know, I wish I had somebody like that. I have Peppy, but Peppy's an invisible drummer that I mention on the show every day. He's not real.
Well, two things that I want to say about that. It is great to have her there, like to bounce ideas off and things like that. But I still have so much work to do. Like if I'm editing a video, it's still just like a one-man editing video like that. I still, I hate editing videos. I should probably hire somebody. But the other thing I want to say is we do have a great relationship. We're so lucky, but I just want to put this on the table. Just if this helps anybody, like we have had moments where we're just like mad at each other, or she said something or whatever, and then we have to like talk about it. And I think this sounds funny, but it's not without work that we have a great relationship, because we have to work through it. I mean, there's things that have happened, and not like, weird drama things, but just things that have happened where I could see, if I didn't value our friendship so much, I could just be like, nah, fuck her, I'm never going to call her again. I could do that if I was, if I didn't want to put in the effort and didn't think this relationship was worth it. And so, and there's other people that I have just said, you know what, this person just, I'm not going to call them anymore. I see him once a year. But our friendship does mean so much that we have had to put in the time, and we do. I mean, we sit there and have to talk shit out. Well, when you said that really bummed me out, and it'll be like, well, because it kind of triggered this thought about this, and so we have to sit there and get through it. But then we do, and I feel like in that way, it's so much more mature than friendships I've had in the past. Like I've always wanted. When you're a kid, you have your best friend, and then you never see him again for the rest of your life. And you're like, what happened? And now that I found someone that I feel like, I have a best friend, but I didn't realize when I was a kid, you have to work on that. Like you have to work to keep it together and to keep everyone on the same page. Everyone's happy. There's no misunderstandings and stuff like that. So, yeah.
As Preston said in the chat, adulting is hard. Just as much as you need to practice your guitar, just as much as you need to practice your bass, your singing, all that kind of stuff. Hard work you have to put into relationships as well. You have to get the best out of it, and to be able to be honest with your friends and say all this shit. Hey, you pissed me off. This sucks. That's the sign of quality friends.
Right.
If they can take that shit, then
Oh my God.
you're on a winner.
Yes.
So ride that winner home.
Exactly. Because I know there have been times where I was just mad, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't have the guts to just say, I'm pissed because this. And that was the hardest part, is just bringing it up. Just because, like I said, the easy way would have been I talk to them again. Could you imagine that? I'd come on the stream. Jen's gone.
I couldn't imagine that.
Out of my life. Well, once she gets in a relationship, I'll just be like, she's out tonight, some fabulous dinner. Here we are. She left us a set list, so we're good. Hopefully she'll tune in afterwards. But Sith was here. Sith is saying, Sith hide. So Sith was over here because she was on the stream one week, and she spent a weekend with us. It was so much fun. And we must have gotten into some sort of, well, what? No, because one of those conversations, And Sith just tried to slide under the bed, because then we both looked at Sith. We're like, right, Sith, right? And we're both trying to get Sith to side with one of us. And Sith's like, I'm just going to hide right here. So that's why whenever she says Sith hides, awesome. That's what she means.
Right. So I'm going to have to wrap this up soon, because...
Oh, see, Jade.
No, I do, because I have
go.
another live stream I'm doing today.
Oh shit! Okay, well wait.
It's not for another hour and a half. We're going to do some death metal now, so I'm going to give you a basic, the growling. All right, let's talk death metal growls. Right, so I'm going to give you one now. What you'll notice with it, and right now, so before anything, what I do tell people with, and you're a singer, so you'll understand this. It's not about the texture you can create with your throat and the growling. It's about your mouthing.
Okay.
So if you watch when I do a growl, you're controlling the sound of it with the whole of your mouth, like any kind of singing, like any vowling or anything like that. You can do a small hole and be like, ooh, or oh, ay, 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 it doesn't matter the amount of gravel that you have, because that's what makes death metal vocals cool. Everyone has a different kind of gravel in their voice. It's the way you mouth and open your mouth and close it and get that. So
Okay.
let's
Now, how do I make the sound? Where does the sound come from? Because I feel like if I try to make it come from here, it's going to hurt.
It's like getting
make
calluses on your
here,
fingers, though,
does
right?
hurt.
Because over time, you are able. So sometimes it's like you're a singer, right? So when you growl, sometimes it comes from your stomach when you sing. Like you can do these, and you can suck in as well. So we'll start with the let's start with the inward one. Have you ever gone? You know when you suck in and go like that? There's a lot of singers who do that,
Yeah.
and they suck in and go.
Big sound.
There you go. Yeah, that's
Did I got it?
that's the sucking in one. You'll hear them. They do that whole.
Wait. I just need to record this so I won't lose it here. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's try this. We're gonna go. I already lost it.
Yes, and you put some reverb on that.
Okay.
And you're good. So that's your inward one, and then your outward one.
Okay.
What I think of is I think about my ex-wife every time I do it, and just go, "Fuck you!" And that
Yeah.
that's the secret. Think of somebody you hate. That's the key.
Easy. Got it.
Mouth. Get your mouth into big holes and little holes, and just think of somebody you hate, and it'll work out.
Wait, make the
the
sound one
outward
more
one or
time.
the inward one?
The outward
Fuck you!
Fuck yeah! I feel like it's a red rum. I
But
feel like
that's
I've
cool
got too
too,
much
because
red rum going on.
what's interesting about death
it
metal
red
growls
rum?
is you don't want to sound like everyone else, because there's so many that cookie cutter growls that sound the same. Cookie Monster ones that you can. There's like Obituary. When the Obituary guy sings, every song is like.
I love
I see you else. But you don't want to sound like him, He-
Down in the depths below.
I think the thing with it is you've got to have fun with it and do it in short bursts, because when you're recording that kind of stuff, it'll shred your voice. And I think I'm a trained singer, so I have a pretty decent voice. So it's taken a long time to build those calluses up inside my throat to be able to do that and sing. So it's like playing bass. You have to build those calluses up on your fingers to be able to do it.
I refuse to have
I would not
calluses.
want to see my tonsils. I bet they look like chopped liver.
Oh my. Okay. I feel like mine sounds like you know how there's like the high voice ones? They're like, and then there's the low ones.
That was cool. But
I feel like mine's like this,
when you're sucking in,
terrible
that's what I said. So
middle.
you start with a little O, like watch my mouth.
It's just not as deep. Okay, let's keep going. More. Come on.
I'll give you a
We
really
have
deep
4
one.
minutes. Let's go. Go.
Right, but you're doing
Am I
the
getting it?
inside one too. So try the outside of just like going, just projecting, like projecting.
I want chocolate.
Yes, I'll show you one that I do, which is very rare. So this is one I've patented myself. I call this the alien squeal. You ready? So this is a sucking in one. So hopefully I won't blow out my mic. This hurts. You ready? Oh. You've got it. You've patented the alien squeal.
Yeah,
The alien squeal is yours. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah,
That's my
is your
jam. That was easy. We should do an intro for your thing, like Jade, Starr.
See, you're already naturally doing it. You've got a natural black metal. I'd like to hear you in a black metal thing. Yeah, like some
black
Norwegian
metal.
black metal.
Yeah, not death metal, not speed metal, black metal.
How to
Exactly, Cradle of Filth. That's Ed B's on it. All right, so that's your homework. Thank
you. Thank you. Come on that. Oh wait, can we have like a follow-up interview where we just like check my
let's do it. Let's
progress?
have you back on sometime early next year, and we'll have a I don't know. Why don't we do like we could do? I do this other show called Behind the Song.
What if we do karaoke?
We can do that.
Black metal karaoke?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'll do like a Katy Perry song.
We'll come
like,
up with
in
something.
black
We'll
metal
come
style.
back and do a show next year for all you guys. I'm going to hit you with the last question now. And it's dead easy. You've already answered it earlier on. If somebody was considering becoming creative, when would you say would be the best time to start?
It's now or yesterday. I'm not sure. When you were born?
Absolutely.
As soon as we hang up, like right now, get off this stream.
The
What are you
reason
doing
I
here?
asked that question is because I try to, when I do these interviews, I try to have as many open questions and pull threads and make it conversational. But I like to end on something that's concrete with a very closed question that you can't get wrong, because it is now, it is yesterday, it is fucking any time you possibly can. And remember, if you're not feeling it when you're starting it, go do fucking something else and don't beat yourself up. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. Don't wait. Well, I watched this. I took this Franklin Covey course about organization. I know I try to apply everything to everything, but there's like if you have a bunch of big rocks and a bunch of small rocks, and you want them to fit in this jar, and you put in all the small rocks first, like the small rocks would represent like all your, laundry or like, the sweeping or whatever little bullshit task you got to do, right? Going on Instagram, right? And then the big rock is being creative. If you put all the small rocks in first and then put the big one in, it doesn't fit in this jar. But if you put the big ones first and then you just pour the little ones in later, it all fits in the jar. So the moral of the story is, just do the important stuff first. Like all your laundry can wait.
Brilliant. Yes.
Like eating can wait.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
do hydrate, but
Be like me. Have water bottles surrounding you.
Oh my God, me too. I can't. There's 3 here, and they're almost empty. But
I haven't drank soft
everybody should
or
eat.
what you call pop. I guess you have different soda or pop, depends where you are in the US. I haven't had soda or pop for now 3 years. I'm so proud of myself. I just so happy I gave it up because I used to drink Coke all the time when I wasn't actually doing Coke. But that's another story for another time.
I really want to go over that story.
No, you don't want to go over that story. That was a horrible time.
Well, I feel like the fact that we're both, I'm assuming you're in recovery or you're
No, I
not
don't do
doing
drugs
Coke today.
anymore.
This is good.
So I've been clean.
Excellent. I feel like that's a really good topic about being
clean
happy
for
and
3
sobriety.
years of all drugs. So
Oh, good for
Thank you.
you.
What about you?
Congratulations.
now that we're in AA mode,
I've got 7 years. 7
Awesome.
years under
Good
my
stuff.
belt.
Good stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's still, if things came up,
Yeah.
like, you know, some DMT or something, I'm sure I'd do that. But that's harmless. You know.
Oh my God,
it's
I've never
good.
tried
But
that.
anyway, I don't want to go down that path. So I'm going to let people know, folks, Nicki Tedesco's website is nickitedesco.com. Here it is. Here is an awesome website full of really cool photos, information. Make sure you go over, check out, look, all these awesome photos. It's a great website. You can also go to her Bandcamp page. Here it is here, Nick at nickitedesco.bandcamp.com. There are links in the description to all of this stuff. Go and buy some music. Go and support Nicki because she does fantastic stuff. Her Twitch link is in there. Go head over, become a subscriber to her Twitch, and come and join us on the weekend when she does her shows because you will have a blast. It's super awesome fun.
Yes. We're just hanging out. We have so much fun hanging
I
out.
love it. I just can't miss it each week now. It's so damn cool. Thank you, Cy Effin, for posting a link.
I'm so glad. When you said that,
I just thank my
what's that?
moderator, Cy, who put a link in the chat. Thank you. And thank you, Black Covers.
Oh, hey, Sai. Oh, I didn't know you were the mod. Hey.
Thank you.
And Black Covers, thank you. Yeah, when you said that it was your favorite time or you were waiting for Saturday or something like that, I was like, wow,
Yeah,
Jade,
it's
how
great.
fun
It's a
here.
really great way to relax because
It's
I do
funny.
my live stream a couple of hours before you, and I'm normally beat. So I just jump into bed. I sit there with my TV on, watching from bed, and I'm chatting on my phone. I love it. It's awesome. Yeah.
How
And
cool.
so
That is
make
so
sure
cool.
you do all that, folks. We are going to go out today. I want to thank you for spending some time with me and getting to know each other. And we'll definitely have you back on the show. Thank you for,
Yeah.
letting us into your life.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you as well. Thank you for teaching me death metal singing. I'm going to start working on that.
It's okay.
I'm serious.
Um,
Watch out, you guys. The next album is
yes. Let's do a small project. We'll talk about that. Guys, I am doing another stream in about an hour and a half's time over here at Creative Source with Pete Johns and Mike Enjo, where we critique people's music that they send in and we offer advice and support on how they can get better mixes and stuff. So that's happening in about an hour and a half over at Creative Source. So if you want to join us there for that, I can move this now, and what we want to do is go.
I love the videos on that channel. I love
Awesome.
watching those streams.
I love doing that. I always try not to offend. I don't want to offend people, So I always, when you do stuff like this, and you always preface with, "Now, please don't take offense at this." But yeah.
Oh, when you
So
give
I
them
always try and say,
feedback?
I'm looking at this if I was a producer and you were submitting this to be remixed or remastered, so don't take offense to this, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings, but you want to offer constructive criticism.
Right.
You don't want to be like American Idol and just make a fool of somebody. That's the worst thing you can do,
Oh, God. I'll never forget Salmon Cow was like, that
Oh,
was
man.
excruciating. I was
He's
like, whoa.
excruciating.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I do on video because I feel like my face would probably be like, and I go, oh yeah, it was great.
I'd jump over the
You
bench
know what I
and
mean?
punch him. That's what I'd do. But, you shouldn't talk to people like that. It's horrible. What we're going to do is we're going to go out with your latest Christmas single. Because it's Christmas, apparently.
I already hate this song, you guys. Not kidding.
Yeah, I
I'm
bet.
so tired of it. I'm like, I just want it out of my life.
So
I hope you guys
I've got
like
it
it.
queued up here. So this is Please Come Home for Christmas. And there's an image of you. Are you snogging Santa Claus in that? Is that what's going on?
It's actually just a face on body app that my friend took that picture of me. Yeah, that really is Elvira. And I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah,
I don't have that body.
nice.
So.
All right, guys.
outta
Thank you
here.
all for being here. Thank you so much for being in the chat, all the kind super chats, and thank you as always for your support of this channel. I love you so much. You guys are amazing, and do the things that make you happy. Make mistakes because they make you better. And you know what? Remember, we all rise together. That's the most important thing. Thank you so much, Nicki Tedesco, for coming on the show. And I hope you have
Thank you, Jay.
I hope you have a wonderful
That's so
evening,
much fun.
folks. This is a Christmas song, so grab your eggnog, and, sit under your mistletoe and kiss yourself if you don't have anybody else to kiss. And this is Please Come Home for Christmas. Take care, and I will see you on the weekend for a live stream of music. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, you guys.
I'm such a pro at this. Bye.